Hi, I'm David O'Neill, and I've done some consulting recently with a Cartridge World franchisee and found out a number of things about how the Cartridge World headquarters and the franchisees use the internet to help manage their marketing efforts and bring in customers. And I think that if you take a couple of minutes with me, you'll get a better idea about some of the things that you can do as a franchisee to help you to improve your business by using the internet. As you can see, there's a number of things that need to be done to think about how you use the internet. One is to use the advertising lifespan idea to think how you spend your money and how well it works for you. One of the issues is that you take and send out mailings or you get print advertising and they just last as long as they pass through someone's hands, or they're very expensive and are only up for a month or so if you use billboards or you do audio ads on the radio. So you have to think about how long it's going to be available and how you're going to use it. Where the internet actually is something that's there all the time, and once you have assets out there, people are searching for different products and people inside of companies are searching for products. So there's a lot of value to being on the internet to be able to have that immediate kind of research available to people. So that means that you need to have a web presence. You have to think about what does it mean to be on the web and how is it that people search for me and what can I give them that makes a difference to help them make a decision and come to me and buy. So what that means is you need to have content that is relevant to the types of things that they search for and the ideas that they're thinking of and what they're trying to do. And you have to have a lot of references that make it easy to find that type of information, because when people look for things, they just tend to use a couple of words here or there, or what are called keywords. Now, Cartridge World gives you a number of things. They give you marketing materials which are useful for ads, they're useful for print. I think they may do some national advertising for you or with you, but they also give you rules and guidance on how to use the internet, which is somewhat limiting, unfortunately, as we'll see in a moment. You have to think you want to have a website, which is a real key thing to have on the internet, and the problem that you face is that the website that you get is the single page, and so it does link obviously to the products that Cartridge World sells, but it is a very limited asset that winds up on the internet for you. So the things to do to make a good presence for you on the internet is to have your listings in different directories like Google, Bing, Yahoo, and Yelp, etc. Those are actually very important and they're very useful for you. Also, it's very good to have pages or have videos on YouTube so that you can show your customers what you do and or show them something about products, etc. Or maybe even show them something about their community, but you put the video up there so you get the reference. And Facebook is very, very important because it allows you to have some types of interaction with your customers. So why do you want directory listings? Simple. When you have consistent references out on the internet, those references allow the search engines to know you're in business, that you are who you are, meaning that you have very defined definitions of your website name, your physical location name, etc. Those are all very important things, and you want to have those exactly the same on every particular directory listing site like Yahoo and Bing. You also have to have that listing pointing to your website. In your case, it's the corporate page, but it can also, on that listing, point to your social media sites and your video sites, your video channel, etc. So those are actually very good things to have inside of those directory listings. And the other thing that you get with the listings is you're basically getting more pages on the internet. So the more listings that you make out into these different services, the more pages you have that reference you as a business on the internet. You also should think about having a YouTube channel, because people watch videos. They stand out. They really do, when they're found and they show up on a page or a reference page for search, they take up a lot of space. People see them because the picture is larger, and they tend to click on them or read them and see what those things are first. So they're really good, and the more that you have of them, obviously, again, you have more pages. So they have an extra value in that. Now, Facebook becomes a very, very important thing because it allows you to have interactions on the internet with your customers or your potential customers. So it creates a community presence. If you look around the community and you create your page and communicate with those other pages in the community that have their own audiences, you'll find that you actually raise your presence, and you can then use your page and the advertising capability of Facebook to interact with those people in those communities, and through some other special means you are able to advertise to a very special targeted group. And again, being on Facebook and creating posts and apps gives you more pages, again, more presence on the internet. So key things to think about here are to make a plan and then work it. You should market on purpose. You should know what all of your options are so that you can use the internet wisely and effectively. It has a great potential in that once you get assets out there, they are more permanent. They actually are reusable all the time. It's not like putting an ad in the paper that goes for as long as the paper is available in the community or in a magazine, or a radio spot which just goes away as soon as it's said. So these are very permanent kinds of assets that you put out there, so they're well worth investing in because then they can be found by search. Now you can get there by doing it yourself, or you got to get smart and then you have to get to it. There's a lot to that, and you do have other options. One of them is to have a partner like me. I'd like to be your partner in this process, and so if you think about coming along with me, what I will do is I'll help you have web smarts by the things that I can help teach you and the things that I can do, and the fact that I have services that I provide myself or that I get third parties to do that make sure that what needs to get done gets done, it gets done on time, and you get your marketing done, which is very important. The other thing that I do is I'll create a special private Facebook group that allows us to communicate about our special needs in terms of how you're reaching out to your market in your local areas, how to use the different tools and facilities of the internet like Facebook and YouTube, and do certain types of extra optimization and extra type of work so that you can make more of the value of the internet. So if you want to come along and partner with me, look underneath this video and you should see some information about how to contact me. There'll also be some links to pick up some extra information about certain services that I can provide to help you get off the ground and get moving on using the internet effectively so that you can get more customers in a very permanent advertising kind of way. So I hope to see you on the other side of being a partner. Thanks.